So this is a video of some behind the scenes wedding photography that I shot when I was second shooting at Ball Place in Kent. So what I've got is a little GoPro mounted to the top of the camera, and I'm shooting here on the Fuji XH1 and the 33mm lens. So yeah, this is just a bit of the day of me going around and sort of explaining what I'm doing. So at this stage of the day we're just at the drinks reception, so the ceremony's just happened and everyone's sort of hugging and congratulating the bride, so it's just sort of about grabbing those little shots there. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, there, nice shot, hug, just grabbing a quick shot of that. I'll take 3 or 4 shots of each moment as they come up, sort of thing, and let's make my way around. Little hug there, spotted that, so yeah, let's grab a shot of that. And then I see a nice shot possibly for the flowers, because she's sort of holding them out, so yeah, nice little shot there with some people in the background. He's just picking some confetti out of her hair. Thought that made quite a cool little shot as well, just a sort of a story-based one. So then I'm heading around, constantly sort of looking around in all directions just to see what's going on, generally sort of mapping out where people are, just so I can sort of see what's happening. So having a look over this guy's shoulder here, I see there's a hug going on there, so that's quite a nice thing. And then there we go, so he's shaking hands, so that's the groom there, so it's quite a nice shot of him. And then cuts to a little bit further forwards and make him way around this group of people. Nice shot there. I think that's the bride's dad. Trying to make sure you get shots of you know, the important people and things like that. Then yeah, still just having a wander around. There's Che in the background in the middle there. He was the main photographer on the day. There we go, another sort of little candid shot. The 33mm is really good for this candid stuff. It's kind of the perfect focal length for me, so it's, yeah, it's my sort of go-to for candid things like that. And then yeah, nice little hug there, so quickly step back and grab that. Again, a very quick sort of snapshot, some of these. And then, yeah, the wedding party is sort of divided into 2 groups. So you've got the main group on the lawn and then another one sort of just behind where I'm stood. So just kind of just going around this group to start off with. Yeah, nice little snapshot there of that guy. And then making my way sort of back through the crowd. People sort of divide into these groups, so it's just a case of keeping an eye on the groups and seeing who's where. This guy's got some beers, so grab a little shot of him as he's walking by. And then yeah, just continually wandering around, sort of seeing what people are doing. They'll all be at various stages of sort of interacting and things like that. Like these guys are having a nice conversation, so I can see that there's going to be something happening there. And then yeah, which there is, so nice little moment. And then yeah, just keeping an eye on the crowd, seeing what people are doing, trying to sort of gauge conversation, see who's having like a conversation that's possibly going to involve some, you know, laughter and things like that, because those always make for really good photos. And then yeah, so here people interacting with the bride, which is always quite nice. So using the people on the side to frame the bride, so your eye goes straight through to the middle of the photo, which is quite good. I think I took another few shots here as well, so I've not included all of the shots that I'm taking, but just more of the sort of the specific ones. So I'm shooting more than it looks like, sort of thing. So yeah, so a few hugging and kissing shots here as well. So I know that something's happening here. When people are moving around a lot, then you know that something's going to happen, so just waiting for a little opening, and then I can see that there's an opening, and again using people to frame the sort of the person in there. And then yeah, so then I'm having a little wander around now to the other part of the wedding. So this is sort of on the patio, as it were. Canapes have just started coming out, which makes some really good photos. I should tell you a bit about what I do with canapes in a minute, but sort of just wandering around and seeing what's going on. Most of the staff are just over here, but there's quite a nice shot over here for some beers, so just grab a little shot of beers. Yeah, nice little sort of filler shot, and then starting to see what people are doing. So yeah, canapes coming out now, so now it's following the canapes around and kind of getting behind them, because they're going to create openings in people, so you can sort of move around. This bit I've headed back on the grass because I know it's quite a nice shot, shot from across the grass. I'm walking over to the other side of this pond here to get sort of a group shot or a much wider shot of everybody, which yeah, I was pretty happy with. Cropped in slightly from this one just to make sure that it was just a group of people on their own, sort of thing. You didn't have any people halfway in the frame, which would look a little bit jarring. So heading back over towards this way, just seeing what's going on. You see a lot of the staff like wandering around with canapes and drinks and stuff like that. That's quite good because it starts, yeah, like I say, opening people up. So I can see that then I sort of get attracted with this guy. So he's sort of, yeah, doing some stuff, which is quite cool. One thing with the canapes is shooting photos as they're sort of taking them off the trays and things like that, and then moving on from that group, because I'm just not going to get a good shot of them actually eating the canapes. So yeah, sort of like a quick shot as that group opens up, sort of thing. Yeah, something's going on here. I'm not quite sure what's actually happening. I think so this guy's laughing, which is quite cool, and then the guy on the left-hand side of the frame, they're still all laughing. So I think he got something spilled. I think he spilled prosecco over him, so he's just sort of trying to dry himself off. So it's just like, yeah, that makes quite a cool photo. So they know what's going on, so it's quite a fun photo for them. So. Which is good. And then yeah, heading back over here, nice clean shot of this guy, again using people to frame him up just to draw you in. I think I probably grabbed a few shots of these sort of hugging moments and things like that as well. So this area, this group of people seemed to get a bit more of my attention. They were a little bit more sort of spaced out and easy to move between, but in a minute you'll see that I sort of go back up to the other group to make sure that I'm covering all the bases. This is, I thought, was quite a cool shot. She's just on her phone, so I was like, that's kind of cool, with the green background and the green dress. So something a little different with the bridesmaid there. And then yeah, cut a little bit further forward. So yeah, now I'm back up on the patio, so making sure that I cover this. So some people taking a photo there, always like grabbing that shot of people are taking photos. It looks quite cool. And then just trying to sort of just peek through to people, see what people are doing, just trying to move around without getting too much in the way, sort of thing. So I think I grabbed a couple of shots there, but I haven't included them. So see this guy over here, he's making a little film with his GoPro, so I was like, that's kind of cool. He can have a photograph of himself. And then these guys are laughing over here as well, so I was like, yeah, I'll do. So let's grab a shot of that. And then yeah, just constantly looking around. I see that something's happening over here. This guy's kind of smiling quite a lot, so yeah, he's gonna laugh. So let's grab the shot of him. They've got more canapes out. They had these like beef sort of stick things on a grass bed, which looks quite cool. So I wanted to make sure I grabbed a couple of shots of that. So just waiting to get a good angle on that. So again, using the people to frame it just makes it a little bit more interesting. And yeah, again, just sort of wandering around, seeing what's going on. You can see the guys on the left-hand side here, they're actually eating the canapes, so there's not much point in grabbing a photo of them because they're just going to look awkward with a mouthful of food, so I'm literally just stood waiting. I can see that behind those guys there's a guy who's he's got some sunglasses on, he's interacting with a kid, I think, so, and he's smiling quite a lot, so I'm trying to get an vantage point, so it's just the person behind the woman in the red dress. So yeah, so just move around and then yeah, just waiting for him to do something because he's, yeah, there you go, so he's smiling, so that's quite cool. So, and then yeah, bang, just shot and cool with a beer, which is good. And then making my way through the crowd. Yeah, there's some more canapes and stuff passing by, but those canapes are all gone now, so I try and not take a photo obviously of the canapé sort of serving tray when there's nothing on it, because there's not much point. People try and duck out of the way of the camera, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, she's smiling over here, so that's quite a nice shot. Again, people framing, just helping you draw in and just place where the people are on the day, sort of thing. So then I'm following these guys now, so I see that there's 4 people moving somewhere, which means that they're probably going to do something. Most people won't move like that unless they're going to do something specific, which they do. So I'm moving a bit further away from them just so I'm not sort of following them. I can see that they're lining up to take a photo. So so I'm just going to get into a nice little vantage point just where I can get a shot of them grabbing a nice photo, but making sure I include the person taking the photo as well, so it's really tying up that moment. So yeah, nice little sort of candid there, and then back up to the top of the lawn. There's like a sort of a back lawn here, so I see some stuff going on over there, so I see some people. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. I think they're playing some games, so yeah, just sort of grabbing that shot through, and then using the people to frame up as well, just so you sort of get an idea of where everyone is in relation to each other, sort of thing. These people in front of me, I can see that they're laughing, having a joke, so it's literally just timing the moment, and then he's about to lean back, and then yeah, there you go, so it's just a laughing shot as he leans back. Trying to capture that sort of smile and laugh as well as the motion of leaning back as well. So have a look over to this field on the right hand side there, but I've decided not to go over there because there's only a few people there. So I tend not to try and just go up to people when it's just a few people, because they'll just kind of stop what they're doing if I go too near them. So working within these groups and constantly moving around means that people don't really have a chance to sort of focus on me too much. They'll just forget that I'm there eventually. So yeah, going back up through these groups and things like that. I noticed in front of me there's a group of 3 people sat down, so making sure to get some shots of them, using that guy's shoulder on the right hand side there as a little frame up as well. Yeah, always making sure to grab the people who are sat down as well, which is yeah, quite important. Yeah, so there's some canapes, and then I think the bride's coming back from some photos maybe, so there's sort of a little bit of you know, everyone's sort of milling around here, but they're not quite sure what to do, so I'm just waiting for people just to sort of spread back out. But I can see that the canapé tray is coming over, so I'm following that, and then, yeah, it's going to go to the people sat down. So yeah, let's grab a shot of that, which is again quite nice. Always important to get shots of the food and things like that. You know, they spent a lot of time, the couple, and money paying for this food, so it makes sense to grab it. And then, yeah, another shot of the canapes there, so it's just sort of opened up a little window, so yeah, grab a shot of people doing it. And that's where I'm going to end this video. I didn't do too much behind the scenes stuff at this one, but just wanted to show you sort of what it is that I do when I do a wedding. This is kind of how I work. So if you've got any questions, then let me know. I'll be happy to answer them, and I'll try and do more of these videos at my weddings in 2023 as well. Thank you for watching.